credit live in an odd neighborhood of the economy. No credit doesn't necessarily mean that these people are deadbeats, struggle financially, or have mountains of debt pressing on their shoulders. Having no credit can stem from simply never using credit or being in debt. It can happen if you are new to credit usage and haven't acquired a history. Whatever the reason, having no credit can hinder your ability to get financing in just about every large purchase. Car loans for people with no credit are possible to get, but come with strict conditions that may scare off many applicants. No credit is an actual condition. In the lending world, no credit is referred to as deep subprime, and the conditions are based on a credit score that falls below 550. Being in a no credit situation forces you to use cash, checks, or money orders instead of plastic. Financing anything is almost out of the question. Here, your income is irrelevant. Being willing to repay a loan and being able to pay off a loan are two very different things. When it comes to your credit scores, your income doesn't factor into them at all. Credit scores are based off of 5 conditions of credit usage, according to myflago.com. 35% of your scores is based on your payment history. 30% is based on balances you currently owe. 15% is based on the amount of time you've been using credit. 10% is based on new credit accounts you've opened. And 10% of your scores is based on the number of different credit accounts you have. Faltering in any one area is not enough to ruin your credit, apart from payment history. And having a score low enough to place you in no credit territory is a signal to lenders that you're not very good at paying off debts. This is an assumption that lenders must make when you see your credit score fall below 550, as they're taking the risk that you're not going to pay back what you borrowed. While lenders are willing to assume some risk in lending money, there is a point at which they will reject loan applications out of hand when they see a credit score this low. Though there are lenders who specialize in helping you to rebuild credit, they have strict criteria for which they will approve car loans with no credit. Lenders who specialize in no credit car loans will look in depth to determine what kind of no credit borrower you are. They'll examine your credit history to see if you've defaulted on any debts, carry debt that's out of proportion to your income, or have committed any credit fraud. Many require a minimum down payment, usually in excess of 20% of the total cost of the loan. Many lenders will bend toward approving your car loan if you're new to the world of credit, carry next to no debt, or have never used credit to make purchases. They'll examine your billing habits, such as your history of paying utility bills, cable bills, or rent. They'll also take into account your choice of cars for financing and the length of time you're thinking about paying off the loan. With no credit, you may be in the position of having to purchase a used car, and financing may only be available from the dealership where you buy it. This is not necessarily a bad thing. Though getting financing through a dealership means paying higher interest rates, your chances of getting approved for car loans are much better by financing directly through the seller. Factory authorized dealerships usually have access to financing incentives that can offset higher interest rates and help in meeting minimum down payment requirements, especially if you're willing to purchase specific models that fall under the manufacturer's umbrella for financing incentive. Another alternative for getting a car with no credit to speak of is from a buy here, pay here car company. These are smaller, locally owned and operated dealerships that finance their cars directly. Their inventory consists entirely of used cars, but these are usually well-maintained cars which can easily fall within your budget's limits. When you sign on for a car loan with these companies, you'll be making your monthly payments directly to them. In fact, you'll be delivering your checks in person. BHPH car companies can offer a certain degree of flexibility in making your car payments. Sometimes making bi-weekly payments can have a smaller impact on your monthly income. Maybe you can't make a payment for some reason. A BHPH company is more likely to work with you on deferring a payment to help keep the cars in your hands. BHPH car companies do their own financing. The cars on their lots are bought and paid for by them. There is no exchange of funds or inventory between them and the manufacturer. As a result, your payments with them are not recorded by any credit reporting agencies, so there's no effect on your credit scores as a result of the car loan agreement. This can be a good thing if you get sloppy with your payments, but it's no help if you meet your scheduled payments and fulfill your agreement. For traditional car loans, people with no credit may have to add a cosigner to the agreement. While this places a certain amount of the obligation on the shoulders of another person, this can help you improve your credit if you make your scheduled payments and see the debt through to its completion without incident. The downside is that your cosigner runs the risk of damaging his or her credit in order to keep you on track, not to mention being out of money if you default. On the upside, if you live up to your responsibilities, you'll see improvement in your credit scores as this activity will be recorded by credit reporting companies. Having no credit is not the end of the world. Unless some sort of fraud was conducted on your part, you can improve any credit condition with time and patience. Many people have gotten car loans with no credit, and there's no reason you can't follow in the same path. Nationwide lenders have programs designed to get car loans for people with no credit. You just need to find them. Federal Auto Loan can make finding no credit car loans an easier task by giving you access to a nationwide network of traditional lenders and car dealerships. Federal Auto Loan. Good credit, bad credit, no credit, all good.